Toast the holidays in a new way and raise a glass of rum chata. A delicious creamy blend of horchata with rum. Enjoy it over ice or in your coffee. Rum chata, your holiday cocktails just got sweeter. Tap or click the banner for more. Drink responsibly. Caribbean rum with real dairy cream, natural and artificial flavors. Alcohol 13.75% by volume, 27.5 proof. Copyright 2025 Agave Logo Brands, Pewaukee, Wisconsin. All rights reserved.
At Sierra, discover top workout gear at incredible prices, which might lead to another discovery. Your headphones haven't been connected this whole time. Awkward. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
The show that makes you laugh, think, and occasionally uncomfortable. The Last Show with David Cooper.
In a Canadian survey, 40% of Gen Zs were shown to toss away perfectly good food because they misunderstood, get this, the best before dates. This is a tale of caution, confusion, and cold hard food waste. But what does a best before date mean? That is what we're going to discuss here with food professor at Dalhousie University, who co-hosts the Food Professor podcast, Dr. Sylvain Charlebois. Sylvain, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you for having me.
I think that's the question, right? What is a best before date, really? My understanding is it's not as clear cut as most people think.
No, there's, it was really a fun project. Too Good To Go is our partner, and they came to us last year asking us, well, do we know how much it costs Canadians to toss away perfectly safe food prematurely because of best before dates? And I looked at the literature, there was just nothing. In fact, there was nothing around the world. There's not even research in the United States about this topic. So I thought, wow, this is a great project. And so we basically started to work and basically interviewed Canadians. And here we are. We actually have a published report, and it was released this week. And what we found out was pretty simple. People are absolutely confused. They don't understand that best before dates have nothing to do with science, like zero. It's all operational. As soon as a product gets off the line, it gets a date if the conservation period is 90 days or less. That's basically how it works.
And my understanding is it's not well regulated between different kinds of foods. That's both in the US and Canada. And it would stand to reason, like, if the milk that I'm buying was left out not in a fridge, in a crate for like 3 hours before it got loaded versus it stayed in a fridge. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is not all foods expire on the same day. It's not like the cows tip off the dairy farmers. They give a date and that's the day. And at the end of that date, it's moldy and horrible. And 1 minute before midnight, it's perfect.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, the cold chain is a complicated thing, right? You're talking about breaches. Sometimes once in a while, a truck will break down. A lot will actually be left out on a dock for several hours under the sun. I mean, a lot of things can happen to your product, which will impact the shelf life of that particular shipment. And so that's why it's important. What we're emphasizing on is basically to ask people to, rely on their senses. Smell, taste, visual is very important. The best risk assessor in the entire supply chain is the consumer in the end. You and I know how tolerant you should be in regards to food safety and food safety risks, because some people are not well. I mean, they have a compromised immune system. I wouldn't take a chance. I'm lucky. I'm actually healthy. I can actually risk it, once in a while.
And I think a lot of people confuse best before with danger after. Like, those two concepts are the same to them. Like, how do they know that the flour that I bought expires in 3 years to the day? I feel like, especially with shelf-stable goods, it's more like, well, we can kind of guarantee that it'll taste right by that date, but it's probably safe to eat after that.
But there are dates when the danger after mantra actually applies, and those are called expiry dates. If you actually have an expiry date on your product, very few of them have. Most of them are for babies, infants, like infant formula, for example. if you actually have a expiry date, you shouldn't consume anything after. You should throw it out. But best before dates doesn't mean bad after.
Interesting. Or danger after. Okay, so I'm looking for the word expiry, and I'm looking for products that would be given to a vulnerable group, like babies, basically.
Exactly. Most of the time, it's very rare that you'll see an expiry date, but it does happen once in a while.
Now, I don't mean to get too conspiratorial here, but is there truth to this concept that certain manufacturers will make an early expiration date on shelf-stable goods so that you chuck it and buy more rather than use it? Or is that just me speculating?
I think you have a point. I'm not. I don't think that they actually expedite the best before date if that's what you're suggesting. But I do think that best before dates are somewhat of a food version of planned obsolescence, basically forcing consumers to throw away food. So it's somewhat convenient for manufacturers, really. I mean, I've seen best before dates on honey, salt, sugar.
Salt? I mean, I suppose it collects moisture and maybe it's not quite as free flowing, but it doesn't go bad.
It doesn't go bad. And so there's been some abuse out there for sure. I mean, pushing consumers to throw away perfectly safe food ingredients and buy. So you're on. I wouldn't say that you're right. I mean, I don't think that people in food manufacturing are expediting or are cutting the 90 day to say 60 days or 30 days. But I do think that best before dates are quite convenient to increase sales.
Like I saw a best before date on a jar of vinegar I had, like white vinegar, and my girlfriend's like, "Oh, it's gone bad." I'm like, "What are you talking about? Vinegar is what you add to things so they don't go bad."
Yeah, no, exactly.
What's the level of waste? Like on average, approximately how much stuff are we throwing out that we could still eat? Maybe it's not as crispy as it once was, but it's still perfectly safe and fine to eat.
Well, we came up with a dollar figure. And so that was our goal here, was to actually monetize waste related to best before dates. And the amount is, get this, $290. 290. So every household will throw away about $290 worth of food, perfectly safe food, because of best before dates. And with date confusion, that's a larger concept. So you have expiry dates on there, package on this date, things like that. That can go up to $700 for a. So if you don't understand best before date, you just throw away everything without any question, it's costing you money.
Is there one myth or one thing you'd want people to know? Is it what you said earlier? Use your nose, use your senses to see if things are rotten or not?
Yeah, I think it's important. I mean, let's face it. We all go to the grocery store to buy food, but we don't just buy food. We buy time. And when you go to the grocery store, you'll see a bunch of people reaching out. At the end of like about far back and on shelves to get the precious pint of milk, for example, because they're buying time. I think the best thing to do is to commit to better inventory management at home. A lot of people will waste just because they're not planning properly. They're going away for a while. They come back. They forgot that they bought certain meals and they have to throw it away, unfortunately. Animal proteins also. Be careful. Okay. There's a little, if you have chicken at home, if it's cooked, it's different. But if it's not cooked, be careful. Any animal proteins, dairy, but if it's unopened, like yogurt, for example, you're fine. I mean, I actually ate a Greek yogurt in a container that was unopened 3 months after the best before date, and I'm still talking to you.
Wow, you live to tell the tale. You put your money where your mouth is, I guess.
Exactly. But if it's open, well, all bets are off.
Interesting.
That's the thing.
So when it's sealed at wherever it's processed, it's that contact with air that really starts the process.
Yeah, people underestimate packaging technologies. They're pretty awesome these days. I mean, companies have actually invested heavily in good packaging because they don't want recalls. They don't want to kill people. It's bad for business, right?
Generally speaking, killing your consumers is bad for business for a variety of reasons. One legal, one ethical, but also they won't be alive to buy more.
Exactly. So obviously recalls are just bad for business. Even if you don't harm anybody, recalls are bad for business.
All right, so I guess what to know here is that best before is not danger after, unless it's like baby formula or something. Thanks for sharing the details of your study, Sylvain. I appreciate you coming on the show.
My pleasure.
You can check out Dr. Sylvain Charlebois on the Food Professor podcast. He is a professor at Dalhousie University.
Rinse takes your laundry and hand-delivers it to your door, expertly cleaned and folded. So you could take the time once spent folding and sorting and waiting to finally pursue a whole new version of you. Like Tea Time You. Or this Tea Time You. Or even this Tea Time You.
So did you hear about Dave?
Or even Tea Time You.
So update on Dave.
It's up to you. We'll take the laundry. Rinse. It's time to be great.